Good evening. My name is Peter Ross, and I'll be presenting Draft, the app preserving American penmanship and calligraphy. Let's look at the history first. So, in 1910, we see that more than 95% of American adults were regularly writing in cursive. Then in 2010, we actually see that states are removing the requirement altogether to teach cursive. Well, then in 2016, we see that 14 states are required to teach cursive. And then 2026, we see 24 states mandating cursive. So clearly that clearly there's value to cursive. But despite this, the proficiency of Gen Z in writing in cursive drops to 30 to 35%. And the reason behind this are because schools are switching to digital learning. So schools are handing out Chromebooks or ThinkPads, but you see, kids are not learning with these devices. The boys are playing cool math games, or the girls are browsing fashion websites. But why care about cursive when you can just type? Why care about this dead art? Well, handwriting activates a broader network of brain regions involved in motor, sensory, and cognitive processing, contributing to deeper learning, enhanced memory retention, and more effective engagement with written material. But typing, on the other hand, while it's more efficient and automated, it engages fewer neural circuits, resulting in more passive cognitive engagement. Well, okay, what's the difference between writing just normally and then cursive? Well, cursive writing actually recruits broader neural networks compared with block letter writing. But without cursive, learning effectively is greatly diminished. And this isn't just hurting upcoming generations, it's hurting anyone who doesn't know cursive. So, how do we properly teach cursive outside the classroom? Well, let's look at what we have today. We have tablet apps, and they're very accessible, but they don't teach proper form and the surface isn't ideal. Well, okay, let's look back then. We have classroom settings. It teaches proper form, but it's not accessible to anyone anymore. So, how do we combine these two? Well, meet the platform Draft. Your Draft, our homogenized lesson plans, make it easy for anyone to learn these forgotten art forms. And we believe that writing with a pen and paper is necessary to learn cursive properly. So we developed a AI assistant glove that straps onto the wrist and it will inform the student if they're using improper technique. That improper technique is using the wrist in any fashion, the wrist touching the desk, holding the pen too tightly. Well, let's meet Susan and Cameron. Susan is a homeschool mom, and her 10-year-old son, she cares about her 10-year-old son's education more than ever. And she's tried cursive curriculum before, but Cameron always struggles to focus. But with Draft, it's low friction. So when Susan goes through the onboarding process, she signs up, verifies her email, creates a password, and then selects what she wants to learn, which is cursive. And once she goes on to the Palmer Method curriculum, she scrolls down to view the entire course and she selects the letter G. She then toggles in between the different lessons to get a feel for how it will be. And then she plays the video, downloads the worksheet, connects the glove, and views the live feedback that Cameron is actually receiving. Once she does this, she hops onto her phone to upload a photo of Cameron's worksheet. Once she does this, it will automatically connect to the website, and she can view the critiques from Draft. The AI critiques are actually within the document, and she can view, okay, what's wrong here? The condensed spacing in between the letters, or she can view the good feedback. This was the best one that he wrote. Well, let's meet Ashley. She's 33 years old and she's from Arizona. She wants to share her art online with like minded individuals. So she discovers a social platform for Draft. She hops on to the community page where she can actually view and change filters on it so she can get inspiration before starting her work. Once she started her work, she can create a draft, upload her project, create a caption, category, and tags, and she can post it to receive critiques. Let's actually meet George. He's 57 from the Springs, and he's been in the industry for over 20 years. And he loves to share his wealth of knowledge. So he hops onto the app, views the community tab, sees the in progress work, and selects Ashley's post. Once he sees some issues with it, he makes a critique, and Ashley responds. Once he sees that she's engaged, he ends up going and he watches the post. Once he watches the post, he comes back in a couple of days and he views Ashley's work. Wow, it's actually finished. It looks really good. So he ends up replying to her and he can view the in progress and the final. Well, Draft is actually targeted towards homeschool parents, but homeschool parents aren't really on the internet a whole lot except for blog posts. So here's where the advertisement will lay. It will lay on a blog post. And Draft is also going to be advertised on magazines. So here is our magazine advert on the Old Schoolhouse magazine. And we're also going to have a mid-roll ad read for a podcast. And we're going to send an email out to a co-op coordinator to spread this through word of mouth. This has been a semester-long project. Here are all of the sprints, and today we are on the final presentation. Here are my resources, and thank you so much for listening.